Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a video on taming snakes and how to keep them tame or get them tame. So I'm going to be showing you with some snakes and some geckos too, just to show you. So let's look as we grab this crazy female Pictus gecko. This girl is crazy. I didn't raise her, but she's like that. She's crazy, she's difficult, she doesn't really like to eat well, and she's scared, and she's very twitchy, wants to run away, jump away, crazy. So it's hard to work with her, and I don't think it'll ever be as tame or as chill as one that you can raise from the time they're a baby. She has this, she has a fear in her. It's been there a long time, like fear, anxiety, or whatever. So I just gotta go in and grab... Did you see that? Mm-hmm. She just jumped away. I didn't raise her either. I got her from someone else. So I don't want to hesitate too long. I'm gonna wait till I can grab her in a good place and just get her. She's all tense, and but I got her, pulled her out. It's a lot easier when you have them from the time they're fresh born, because then you can right from the beginning program them to think that you are safe and feel comfortable around you and all that. Otherwise you end up with a snake kind of like this. After I take her out of her home, she is a little bit calmer, but she's still twitchy, she's still not super comfortable, and it takes some work. His Chinese beauty snake, he was holding the snake daily, and it seemed like she's calmer, and that can happen too. You take the snake, you hold it, it gets calm in your hands, but that doesn't really mean that you're changing the snake's personality or actually making it calmer. And still, if you messed with it, she'd try biting you. It's more than just taking the snake and handling it every day, because I can handle her until she kind of calms down. But what I want to do is I want to push the barrier. I want to kind of like change her mentality. Or what I find works is playing with the face, playing with the head. So getting that head in your hand and playing with it and touching it, because this is a very sensitive part of their body. So if I'm able to play with the snake's head and pet its face and do all that kind of wonderful stuff, that's going to be what really desensitizes the snake to you and gets it used to you, and then over time eventually they'll probably even like it. So if I tried to do something like this with his albino beauty snake at first, she'd be nipping me. Yeah, you go for the face and she'll nip you. And Spirit's pretty good that she isn't super nippy. Sometimes she'll be nippy when she's in her home and you try and get her, but once you have her out, she's more just trying to avoid you. Like she's just leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. But we have to play with this face, and I like to kind of grab them from on top and underneath, rub their head, hold them kind of, not like force them in place, but kind of securely like hold them and rub under their chin like this. And I'm not like squeezing her or anything. She's not really fighting to move. If she does, she can go. But just kind of like doing this thing where I rub her under the face, I rub her over the face, and then also another thing I really like to do is run my fingers across the mouth. So you see the mouth? Just run my fingers from the side, back of the mouth to the front of the mouth. Give them a head massage, under the head massage, and just keep doing that over and over again until you feel them calm down, because she's still very tense. So I'm going to hand her over to Charlie, and Charlie's going to keep doing the same thing. And some people naturally just have the feel for this, and some people don't. Like, some people have to kind of learn how to feel. It's just like, imagine you're going to get a massage, and I like a rough massage. I want to get like poked into, right? Get hurt. Like that's what I like. But there's an art to kind of getting there, you know. You slowly, they're working you in, and then they're going harder and harder, and it hurts. But they didn't just come and just jam their elbow into you. Pretend there's a nice big corn dog. So in the same way with these animals, with the snakes, with the geckos, with whatever, we never want to roughly force ourselves on them. Establish that I'm here, I'm holding you, I'm gonna hold you, I'm gonna touch you, but we're never, you know, grabbing and I'm gonna squeeze it by the neck and force it to let me play with its face or anything like that. We're not doing that. We're gently working our way in. So now let's look at a king snake. So I've raised this king snake, so she's pretty good. She's only nipped me a few times, and it's always been when she's thought there's going to be food. But I find there's certain snakes that are just naturally more tame, like boas. And honestly, I don't even think ball pythons are naturally super tame. Ball pythons are naturally really scared. They're scared doesn't mean they're really tame, doesn't mean they really like you holding them. Lots of the time when you hold a ball python, they're terrified and they don't move. And people like them because they don't move and they're so chill. They're not aggressive, they're not really that defensive. You're never usually going to get bit by a ball python. But that doesn't mean that the ball python is comfortable or trusts you. And that's what you really want to do. We're doing this so that we can have more than just a snake that, you know, is scared of us and wants food. We want to be able to have a pleasant experience for ourselves and for the snake. We want them to feel safe and comfortable around us. So we do this by annoying them. I kind of like going past the barrier of touching and everything and getting them okay with you playing with them. Eventually they start to like it. With an animal like that, it's a lot harder, and even if you get there one day, the next day everything you may have done might be gone. So that's why it's so important to start when they're little. So already like you see a difference in the way that Xena behaves versus the way Spirit behaves, and Spirit's getting better for today, but it's just like we've played with her and handled her a lot and she's still pretty scared, but at least she's not nippy. And if you end up with a snake like a reticulated python or a Burmese python or something that's going to get big, then this is vital for you to do in the beginning. Do it right from the time it's a baby and just keep doing it.
Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
Because
just do it!
That's going to ensure that you have a snake that is okay with you, is okay with anyone. And that's what we all want. We don't just want fish. Because that's what some people turn their snakes into. They basically just turn them into fish. They put them in an aquarium or their home, and they don't interact with them. And I get it. There's some people that are like naturalists, and that's really what they want to do. Or they've had an animal that's never been handled, and then they don't want to bother it. So it's understandable. But if you really feel that these animals should not be played with or not be interacted with or anything, then to me you might as well just leave them in the forest. And everyone that keeps a reptile, everyone that keeps really any exotic animal, that's what you're doing. You have an animal that would have been in the wild and now it's not, and you're keeping it as a pet. So if you're going to keep it as a pet, I think you should kind of treat it as a pet. You shouldn't really treat it as a wild creature. Once they're calmed, once they're tamed, they domesticated animals, even though many people will debate that. Many people will say you never really tamed them. And I fully disagree with that. I think that you do tame them. And the level of that all depends on what you do with them from the time that they're born. King snakes will eat other snakes. So sometimes I'll handle my corn snake and then I'll handle Xena and then she'll bite me. So another thing just to keep in mind, if you have a snake like a king snake that'll eat just about anything, if you're handling other reptiles, don't handle her after. Even though I just handled Spirit. So that might even be it. That might be why she's squeezing onto me. Another animal that I haven't had as a baby is this Pictus gecko. If you know me, Pictus geckos are like my new favorite geckos. I think they're super cute and super like stupid. Like they're just cute, dumb animals. But maybe they're not. Maybe they're smarter. Maybe we'll see more as I'm growing the babies. This girl has been just like crazy all the time. Has given me trouble eating, trouble shedding. Like she's just always hyper, and like it's hard to hold her because she wants, like she won't really let me hold her. She wants to run away. So it's just like when I spend time with her, it's just like I don't know if it really goes anywhere, if I'm really helping her to calm down or if I am just annoying her. Because and when you do have an animal like this that just does not want to be handled, then yeah, it's understandable if you just want to take care of it, give it a good life, and let it be. But this isn't a representation to me of what these should be like and how your pet should be. See? I try playing with her face, she opens up her mouth. So she's opening up her mouth, and if I mess with her, she'll bite me. So it's just like I'm not really helping her at all. I'm kind of annoying her, and maybe if I did this every day over time, she'll get used to it. She might not ever really like it. And that's what happens when you have an adult reptile that hasn't been taught that, you know, humans are our friends, they feed us, we interact with them, it's a good time, and still put in the work with her. Her boyfriend tamed down quite a bit and is pretty nice, and even like this, she seems like she's calm, but she's plotting, she's looking around, she's thinking, where can I go? I'm gonna get away. So, and she's nuts. She can jump out of she can jump like this high. In contrast, comparing that to her baby that I have handled from the time it was tiny, look at this. It could get away, it could run away, but it's a lot calmer. I can play with it, I can handle it, and I can do this to its face, and okay, I'm getting a little open mouth a bit, but it's not trying to run away, it's hanging on to me. And usually with little lizards and stuff, the babies are the ones that are running away and scared and not chill. But when you put the time in with these guys and handle them from the time that they can be handled safely, and you just pet them and hold them, like I'm shaking and stuff because I have funny nerves, my hands shake, I have a hard time keeping them steady. This is the kind of Pictus gecko you'd want as a pet, that you can hold, you can feed it by hand, you can hang out with it, you can pet it, you can talk to it, and not have to always be chasing it or worrying about it jumping around or everything. You've seen me do it with the boas, and now you've seen kind of what we're doing with all these animals. You see Spirit now is just chilling, letting Charlie pet her. She really hated us handling her. She wouldn't let him do that. But she's allowing it. And over time, she'll start liking it. But it's so much more work to do this with an animal like this. See?
You start with her.
Than it is to do it with an animal like this. And if you get bit by something like this, it doesn't even break the skin. So, and with ball pythons, they'll curl up in a ball to defend themselves because they're scared. So you need to play with them from the time that they're born. Like you see these, I've already been playing with them from day one, and it's so tiny and it would have every reason to be just terrified of me. But because I've been playing with them literally since they came out of the egg, they're not trying to escape or run away or anything. I already have super tame babies, and I really like emphasize that I see most breeders having their babies and they don't mess with them. They just put them, let them hang out, let them be, and then later on nothing really happens until it's time to start feeding them. I think that the first few moments of the animal's life, when you handle them during that time, and it's just the first thing that they're accustomed to is you handling them and you holding them, it calms them right down, because it's something that, like, from the beginning of time, you were there with them. And from the beginning of time, you were the one that, like, you know, feed them, clean them, hold them, spend that time with them. You end up just teaching them that you're okay right from the beginning. Isn't that awesome? I'm not saying mess with it the whole day or anything, but just take each baby, put a timer on for 10 minutes, spend 10 minutes with each one. Do that even once a week, and you'll notice a huge difference in your babies. And you'll notice that, like, the animals that you're selling to people are going to be so happy with, because you just put in that extra bit of work to make an animal that is so chill, that's not trying to escape you, that's just hanging out with you and confident at such a tiny age. If you want to see me tame a boa that was nippy at first, check out the first video. Otherwise, check out the second video. Remember to smash that like button. And if you have other techniques that you found has worked for you or that have helped you, or problems that you've had to deal with, feel free to participate in the comments below, share your thoughts, let us know what you think.
Bye everyone! I want to go. Now I can get blue M&M.
Blue M&Ms for being a good girl.